This training is all about relationships, and then we will do match closure. In section 2 of this training, it's all about relationships. At Big Brothers Big Sisters, we believe in the power of relationships and knowing that strong relationships are those that are healthy and safe. This section opens with an introduction to the match relationship and all match participants critical to the success of a strong, healthy, and safe match. This section will introduce you to the following: the match relationship, healthy relationships, safe relationships, and their boundaries. The most important part of being a big, and just like the youth we serve, each match relationship is unique. While the match is a one-to-one mentoring relationship between a youth and an older mentor, this relationship also includes the youth's parent or guardian. In this lesson, you will learn about the Big Brothers Big Sisters match relationship and its participants. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to answer the following questions: who is included in the match relationship? What is a big? What is a little? What is a match support specialist? And what is the role and expectation of a big, little, parent, guardian, and the Big Brothers Big Sisters local agency in the match relationship?
The most important part of being a big is your relationship with your little. And just like the youth we serve, each match relationship is unique. While the match is a one-to-one mentoring relationship between a youth and an older mentor, this relationship also includes the youth's parent or guardian, their family, and your local Big Brothers Big Sisters agency. All match participants should work together to ensure a successful match relationship. Let's talk about the role of each participant in the match relationship, starting with you, the big. So what is a big? Well, simply put, a big is a mentor to a youth between the ages of 5 and young adulthood called a little. Mentorship can mean a lot of different things, but for Big Brothers Big Sisters, a mentor can be a non-parental adult or a responsible high school student who is a role model to a little. Bigs come from diverse backgrounds, just like our littles. They are regular people just like you, and you don't need any special degrees or job skills. You just have to care about positively impacting a young person. Everything we do at Big Brothers Big Sisters is to defend the potential of youth, and this is your primary role as a big. Bigs aren't saviors or heroes. It's not even your job to uncover the potential in your little, because that potential is already in them. The role of a big is to invest in meaningful interactions with their little to help them ignite their potential. This means accepting your little as they are and encouraging them to pursue their goals. You'll also be a role model to your little, so it's important to set a good example in all you do and say. Be honest, treat others with respect, empathy, and kindness. Take notice of your attitude towards yourself and others. Be yourself and acknowledge your imperfections. Another role you will have as a big is to support your little. This will likely look different for every match relationship, but in general, take time to learn about your little, their likes, their dislikes, their goals, and their background. Be proud of who they are. Show genuine interest in what they like to do. Celebrate their wins and encourage them when things aren't going so well. Being a mentor also comes with certain expectations. To start, you are expected to be consistent and dependable. Building an enduring relationship with your little requires that you are present and follow through with your commitments. This means that you're expected to spend time with your little on a regular basis. The amount of time may vary based on the program you select in your agency, so it's important to understand the requirements and expectations of both. However, consistency is key. As a big, you are expected to regularly communicate and connect with your little. In all communication, it is your responsibility to be honest and open. Show respect and value your little's family by communicating with them as outlined in the program guidelines. This includes following all policies and procedures regarding how often and through what means you are communicating with your little, their family, and your agency representative. You're also expected to follow your local agency's rules and guidelines and communicate with your agency representative on a regular basis. But we'll talk more about this later. While you will likely become a significant part of your little's life, as a big, it is important to understand what the role of a mentor involves and what it does not. To help with this, keep the following in mind. You are not your little or their family's social worker, doctor, counselor, or other expert, even if that is your profession. Avoid using your professional skills to provide a service to your little or their family, such as providing legal or financial advice. You are not a peer friend. You will listen and ask questions to help your little think through situations just like a friend would do. However, you are not responsible for keeping your little's secrets, especially if those secrets indicate they are unsafe or being harmed in any way. If you suspect or know your little is unsafe or in danger, you are expected to communicate your concerns with your agency representative. Later in this training, we will talk in more detail about youth protection and child safety. Finally, you are not a parent to your little, their siblings, or their parent or guardian. Your match is a one-to-one mentoring relationship between you and your little. Be respectful of your little's parent or guardian, deferring to them on decisions that affect your little. Be careful not to take siblings on outings or provide money or transportation for activities that your little wants to do outside of the time you spend together. And you should not give your little's family money or resources. The takeaway from all of this is that your little is the primary focus of your match relationship. If it starts to become about something other than this, please reach out to your agency representative for guidance and support. Now let's talk about the mentee in the match relationship, the little. While there is a general expectation for your little to be an active participant in the match relationship, this will look different based on their age, personality, life experiences, culture, background, etc. It's important to keep an open mind with your little and set realistic expectations about the match relationship. Your local agency is trained and equipped to help you in this process. Now, depending on the program you and your little are enrolled in, a little's parent or guardian can play a significant role in the match relationship. Our goal is that parents partner with you and the local agency to support a healthy, positive match relationship. As you begin a new role as a Big Brothers Big Sisters employee will support you every step of the way. This employee is called a match support specialist, and they are an integral part of your match relationship. Match support specialists are trained professional staff invested in making every match the best it can be by promoting the development of your match relationship, helping to ensure child safety, and supporting positive youth development. They facilitate regular, ongoing contact with you, your little, and their family, if applicable, by conducting private, one-to-one interactive communication with you about your relationship. Open and consistent contact with your match support specialist is a requirement of being matched in our programs. The frequency of contact is based on the program you choose, whether community-based, site-based, site-based plus, or site-based facilitated. Be sure to discuss this and any other questions you have with your agency representative.
All right, so in that video, it mentioned 4 different types of programs at the end. We only do community-based and site-based at our location. The site-based is another name for Lunch Buddy. And with match support, the frequency of contact is 1 time a month for the first 12 months you're matched. It is imperative that you keep in contact that 1 time a month with your match support specialist. It is a phone call. You don't have to meet anywhere. It doesn't take time out of your day to travel to do that. It is just answering the phone call from your match support specialist, answering the questions that your match support specialist has. There are different questions every month. It takes 5 to 10 minutes. And that is our way of checking in to make sure that the match relationship is doing well. It's our time to gauge if you need support. It's your time to ask us questions. And it's also for us to make sure that the child is safe. So please make sure that you do that 1 time a month match support phone call. We will give you a heads up when we are going to be doing that phone call. If you do not do that phone call, if you do not do your match support for 1 month, you will get a yellow letter. It is a warning. If you go 2 months without doing match support, you will get a red letter, which means that your match will be closing. You can have a wonderful match relationship with a little. And because you do not keep in contact with the agency, that wonderful relationship you have will be terminated. So I cannot stress enough how important keeping in contact that one time a month with your match support specialist is. So also, in addition to that, you can contact us outside of that call anytime you need to. If you need help, if you have a question, please don't think that you are limited to that one phone call a month. You can contact us anytime you need to. We are just going to contact you one time a month with those questions. Match support is the monitoring, support, and continual engagement with the big, little, parent, guardian, and site partners while the match is active. A match support specialist is the BBBS staff who guides the match in achieving positive outcomes for the youth. When appropriate, they will also guide the match when it transitions to match closure. This is on the quiz. Just like your other training video, all training videos have a quiz link in the same email, and that will be this right here, will be on that. While the match is a one-to-one mentoring relationship between a youth and an older mentor, this relationship also includes the youth's parents or guardian, their family, and your local Big Brothers Big Sisters agency. All match participants should work together to ensure a successful match relationship. A big is a mentor to a youth between the ages of 5 and young adulthood, called a little. At Big Brothers Big Sisters, a mentor can be a non-parental adult or a responsible high school student who is a role model to a little. Bigs come from diverse backgrounds and just like our littles. So right here it says 5 to young adulthood. Every agency is different. Our agency is first grade. So for Lunch Buddy, it's first grade through 5th grade is the last year that they will be matched in Lunch Buddy. So 1st through 5th. And then community-based is 2nd grade through 18 years old, senior in high school. A little is the mentee in the match relationship. It's a child or youth between the ages of, and again, it's 1st grade, 2nd grade through 5th grade and 18 years old, pending program. Depending on the program you and your little are enrolled in, a little's parent or guardian can play a significant role in the match relationship. Our goal is that parents partner with you in the local agency to support a healthy, positive match relationship. So if you're doing Lunch Buddy, you will not have any contact or relationship with the parent, only the agency will. If you are in community-based, you will have contact with the parent and a relationship with the parent because you are picking the child up from their home. As you begin your new role as a Big Brothers Big Sisters employee will support you every step of the way. This employee is commonly called a match support specialist, and they are an integral part of your match relationship. Match support specialists are trained professional staff invested in making every match the best it can be by promoting the development of your match relationship, helping to ensure child safety and supporting positive youth development. They facilitate regular ongoing contact with you, your little, and their family, and if applicable, by conducting private one-to-one interactive communication with you about your relationship. That is going to be the one time a month phone call. The goal is that all match participants work toward the same goal, and that it is to ignite the power and promise of youth and help them achieve their full potential. The commitment of each match participant is critical to developing a safe, strong, enduring match relationship between a big and a little. All right. Coming to buying gifts. What happens with gifts? So you and your little are on an outing at the mall, and as you pass by a clothing store, your little sees a dress and says it would be perfect for her and asks if you would buy it for her. She said her mom couldn't afford it. She didn't have another dress. I really want to help, and it's not expensive. However, I don't want to go against policy. So look at these. Take a minute. The correct answer is to remind your little that your time together is about doing things together you both enjoy rather than buying gifts, and refer to local agency policy. The only time we allow you to buy gifts or bring them a special lunch is birthday, holiday, first match celebration, last match celebration, it cannot be over $10 and it has to fit in your hand. It has to be small and it cannot be over $10. So that is the only times we allow you to do that. Also, during those times that we allow you to do that, it is not required. It is not mandatory. It is 100% up to you. Big Brothers, Big Brothers Big Sisters is committed to ensuring the relationship you have with your little is healthy and safe. Over time, we hope that you will become a trusted adult in the life of your little. Your local agency is available each step of the way to provide support through this process. In this lesson, you will be introduced to some of the values identified by Big Brothers Big Sisters that help build healthy relationships. Also, you will be introduced to the concept of boundaries, which will be covered in more detail. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to answer the following questions. What is a healthy relationship? What does Big Brothers Big Sisters identify as values that help build healthy relationships? What are boundaries? And what is the main goal for all match participants?
Big Brothers Big Sisters is committed to ensuring the relationship you have with your little is healthy and safe. Over time, we hope you will become a trusted adult in the life of your little, and your local agency is available each step of the way to provide support through this process. If you find over time that your relationship with your little isn't as healthy as you thought, you can always call your match support specialist for guidance. Let's walk through some of the values identified by Big Brothers Big Sisters that help build healthy relationships. It may seem obvious, but respect is pivotal in any healthy relationship. Be honest with your little and be clear in your communication. Really listen to your little. Consider their thoughts and feelings in your conversations. And before making decisions that impact your relationship, ask appropriate questions about the things they tell you. Show genuine interest in what's important to them and celebrate their accomplishments. In any relationship, disagreements are often inevitable. If disagreements arise between you and your little, use these times to demonstrate how important it is for each person to listen to the other's point of view, to acknowledge the difference of opinion, and work towards a solution that everyone can agree on without using hurtful language or violent behavior. We will discuss boundaries further in another video, but we want to emphasize the importance of boundaries in a healthy relationship. Boundaries are limits that we set that let others know what is okay and not okay to say and do to us. Everyone has a right to set emotional and physical boundaries for themselves. Say, for example, you're meeting your little for the first time and reach out your hand for a handshake, but your little stands there, arms folded behind them, and says hello. Your little may be demonstrating a physical boundary. They may prefer to say hello without physical contact, or they may be waiting until they know you better. Follow your little's lead. Boundaries may change as you and your little get to know each other. The important thing is that you respect your little's boundaries. If you're unsure of what your little's boundaries are, ask them and show that you understand them by honoring the boundaries they set. Also, share your boundaries with them and hold to them. You can find more information about what the role of a big is and is not in the video The Match Relationship. Your local agency also has clearly defined ground rules, policies, and procedures in place to assist you as a big and to assist your little and their family in navigating appropriate boundaries. Your match support specialist will be a helpful resource in helping you understand and apply these guidelines. The goal is always to keep all match participants safe and to support the development of a healthy relationship. You and your little may come from different cultural, social, or economic backgrounds, have different belief systems, sexual orientations, and interests. Regardless of your similarities or differences, to develop a healthy relationship, it's important to simply be yourself and provide a space for your little to do the same. Be open to your little's likes and dislikes and what makes them unique. Accept them for who they are without trying to change them. A big part of a healthy relationship is feeling safe from harm. This includes physical, emotional, and sexual harm. It is essential that your little feels safe in every aspect of the match relationship. You will notice that the remainder of this training will focus on how Big Brothers Big Sisters programs are structured to help keep the youth we serve, along with all the other match participants, safe from harm. We expect that your relationship with your little will be safe and healthy. If at any time you do not feel safe in your match relationship or you suspect your little is not safe, please contact your match support specialist immediately.
All right. I'm going to click these, give you a minute to read over them. All right. Be honest, be clear in your communication, really listen, consider your little's thoughts and feelings, ask appropriate questions, show genuine interest, celebrate their accomplishments, listen to the other's point of view, acknowledge the difference of opinion, work toward a solution that everyone can agree on without using hurtful language or violent behavior. Boundaries are limits we set that let others know what is okay and not okay to say and do to us. Everyone has the right to set emotional and physical boundaries for themselves. Respect your little's boundaries. The goal is to always keep match participants safe and support the development of a healthy relationship. Look over this one. Be yourself and provide a space for your little to do the same. Be open to your little's likes and dislikes and what makes them unique. Accept your little for who they are without trying to change them. Look over this one. It is essential your little feels safe in every aspect of the match relationship, safe from physical, emotional, and sexual harm. Relationships develop in different ways, and they take time and energy. The same is true for a mentoring relationship. Understanding the way mentoring relationships typically develop can help you create and sustain a healthy relationship, as well as manage your expectations and those of your little. Generally speaking, research shows us that a mentoring relationship tends to go through 4 main stages, starting with the discovery. The resource above provides more information, activities, and research on the 4 phases of mentorship. We'll go through that. The discovery stage. Chances are discovery is the stage of the mentoring relationship cycle you are in right now. This includes the time prior to being matched with and meeting your little, and usually extends into the first few months of being matched. Some things you can expect during this stage are examining your motives for becoming a big, determining which program is right for you, training, meeting your little for the first time, and begin learning about your little and building trust. Negotiation. Think of this time as making an agreement with your little about what is important in your match relationship. During this stage, you are determining when and how long you will meet with your little, setting goals for your match relationship, establishing ground rules, and setting boundaries for your relationship. The growth stage should be the longest stage of your match relationship. This is where the relationship building takes place, and you and your little really learn about each other. It's during this stage you will meet regularly with your little, evaluate your match relationship goals, and maintain the relationship through consistent contact. Sometimes the growth phase may present challenges and require perseverance, but these are opportunities to support your little and establish a stable presence in their life. And if you do have challenges and anything that kind of falls under that, that is where your match support specialists, we're here to guide you through that, walk you through that, support you through that, answer any questions you may have. The final stage in the match relationship cycle is closure. Closure is when it is time for your match relationship to come to an end. Your match can close for a variety of reasons, such as you or your little moves, a change in schools, declining interest, or because of challenges in the match. When one of these circumstances occurs, you, your little, or their family may decide it is time for a change or transition. In all phases of the match relationship cycle, the goal is to develop a safe and healthy relationship with your little. Your match support specialist will assist you each step of the way with support, guidance, and additional resources such as learning opportunities, conversation starters, tips for age-appropriate activities, and having difficult conversations, and more. When spending time and building a relationship with your little, it is helpful to understand their current developmental stage. Not only will this give you a better understanding of their unique experiences, it will also help you connect with them. Your little's development will impact your communication, relationship, and activities. With more insight, you can maintain realistic expectations throughout the different stages of your match. To learn more about child and youth development, consider taking this course. And if you want to do that, we can register you. Just contact our office. A boundary is something that marks or separates one person's or group's space from another. Key ingredients to any safe relationship are boundaries and rules. And as you learn more about becoming a big, it is important to begin thinking about your personal boundaries and those of your little. In this lesson, we will take a deeper look at the importance of boundaries and building safe relationships. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to answer, what is Big Brothers Big Sisters' #1 priority? What is a boundary? What are personal boundaries? What are physical boundaries? What are emotional boundaries? And what are the rules that Big Brothers Big Sisters has in place to help promote safe and healthy relationships?
At Big Brothers Big Sisters, we talk about healthy relationships a lot. A healthy relationship is a safe relationship, and the safety of all match participants is our #1 priority. Key ingredients to any safe relationship are boundaries and rules. And as you learn more about becoming a big, it's important to begin thinking about your personal boundaries and those of your little. A boundary is something that marks or separates one person's or group's space from another. The easiest way to think about a boundary is a property line. We have all seen no trespassing signs, which send a clear message that if you violate that boundary, there will be a consequence. This type of boundary is easy to picture and understand because you can see the sign and the border it protects. Personal boundaries are rules that we use to let others know what kind of things are okay and not okay to say or do to us, with or around us. Personal boundaries can be harder to define because the lines are invisible, can change, and are unique to each individual. While there are different types of personal boundaries, we will look at physical and emotional boundaries and how they come into play in your match. Physical boundaries involve your physical space and physical touch. They can include how close people stand to you when talking, whether you prefer to greet someone with a hug, handshake, a wave, or no contact at all. As you consider the personal boundaries of others, it's important to have an awareness of your own physical boundaries while understanding that they're unique to you. Pay close attention to the other person's body language and nonverbal cues to see if they're comfortable with general physical contact. In general, you should always maintain healthy and appropriate personal space with your little. This means your little should always verbally consent to physical contact. Emotional boundaries refer to a person's feelings and opinions and how they're expressed. They can involve rules about when to share and when not to share personal information with others. Your little may ask you personal questions, and it's okay to share age-appropriate thoughts, feelings, and information with them as you are comfortable. Respect your own boundaries by not sharing information that makes you feel uncomfortable. The same applies to your little. You may provide a safe place for them to share personal feelings and opinions, but it's important to follow their lead rather than push them to share personal information with you. Avoid topics that make your little feel uncomfortable. We all have different rules that make up our own personal boundaries that are shaped by things such as where we live and culture or family values. When we have clear personal boundary rules and use them every time, we're more likely to develop safe and healthy relationships. And remember, your match support specialist is here to help you as you navigate the personal boundaries in your match relationship.
All right. These definitions are on the quiz that you will complete. When we have clear personal boundary rules and use them every time, we are more likely to develop safe and healthy relationships. Review the scenarios in this activity and decide which responses best honors the boundaries of your little, what they're communicating using verbal and nonverbal cues. Your little stands with their arm crossed and at a safe distance from you. You interpret from your little's body language they are uncomfortable with physical touch. You make sure their interactions, you observe their interactions and give them space, or you hug your little every time you see them ignoring their nonverbal cues. All right, you interpret from your little's body language they are uncomfortable with physical touch, and you make sure your interactions observe physical space. Yes, making sure you observe appropriate physical space in your interactions with your little shows them you honor the personal boundary they are communicating to you with their nonverbal cues. Let me give you all a heads up. So when you greet your little and when you leave your little, you are not allowed to initiate hugs with them. If they initiate a hug, that is fine. You can like side hug, but you are not allowed to initiate a hug with them. We do not know their background. We do not know what triggers them. So please do not go in for a hug if you have not already been, if they give you a hug, you can side hug them. What we do encourage is that you ask them, can I give you a fist bump or a high five? And that puts the control in their hands of how to say hello and goodbye to you. So ask them fist bump or high five. Your little ask if you are dating anyone. You gradually share age-appropriate personal information with your little as your relationship develops, or you tell your little that your partner just ended your relationship and all about your relationship struggles. There we go. You gradually share age-appropriate personal information with your little as your relationship develops. This honors both you and your little's emotional boundaries by only sharing age-appropriate information with them and that you are comfortable sharing. Remember, these are just two scenarios that you may encounter as you build a safe and healthy relationship with your little. It is always appropriate to take your time and seek agency guidance if you are unsure. And you can always say to your little, you know, that's an interesting question. Let me think about it and get back to you if it's in regards to, you know, outside these scenarios, but, you know, and then over the course of a week, think of an answer. You can call your match support and then find out, you know, hey, what do you think an appropriate response to this would be? And then get back to your little the following week and say, hey, remember that question you asked me? I told you I was going to get back to you on an answer. And here's the answer that I wanted to give you. And so it gives you some time and you're showing the little that you're not ignoring the fact that they asked. And you're giving yourself time to process a good answer or call match support and find the most appropriate way to answer that. Each agency has specific policies and guidelines for the match outlined in the match agreement, which you will sign once you are matched with a little. While each agency's match agreement may be different, the following child safety and youth protection guidelines are common to all match agreements in some format. At all times, our number one goal is the safety and well-being of the children and youth we serve. Frequency of contact. You are expected to be consistent and dependable in your commitment to your little. That's always. You are expected to be consistent and dependable in your commitment. That's in Lunch Buddy and in community-based. If you are unable to attend a scheduled day, then we ask that if you already know that it's coming up, you know, give them a 24 hours heads up. Lunch Buddy, if you know the week prior, let them know, you know, hey, next week I plan on missing, and it has to be really something like a vacation, an emergency, just something that is not common. And you can give them a week heads up. If it's short notice and you can do 24 hours, you can call the school and tell the secretary, hey, can you pass a note to my little's teacher, letting them know that something has come up and I will see them next week. If it is the day of, we understand emergencies happen, last minute emergencies happen. Again, please call the school and tell the secretary to pass a note to the teacher. It is extremely important. A lot of these kids, there is an inconsistency of people showing up in their life. You do not want to cause any questioning or further instill in the trauma that they could have already endured by just not showing up with no phone call to the school to even give them a heads up, even if it's the morning of. Still, please call. You are responsible for supervising your little while you are together. Your little may not be left in the supervision of anyone not approved by the agency. This is for all programs. And Lunch Buddy, you're going to be at the school. You're still responsible for your time together, but there will be, the school staff there. Community-based, it will just be you two. Discuss approved methods of communication with your agency representative. Depending on the program, you may be limited to in-person contact. Your agency will have rules established regarding communication with your little and their parent guardian on social media as well. So Lunch Buddy, the only contact you will have with them is during that 30 minutes of lunch. You will have no contact with their family. You will have no contact with the child outside of that 30 minutes one time per week. Community-based, it is different. Your contact is more often, just because it is a more in-depth relationship. If you are participating in a community-based program, you may be transporting your little. You are expected to refrain from using your phone while driving. Follow safety laws, including seatbelts and car seats, as well as other safety recommendations established by your agency. Overnight visits are not allowed at every agency. So I'm going to just kind of skip this. They're just not allowed. There is emergency reasons. It's very, very rare, but overnight visits are not allowed. The carrying and use of weapons while you are with your little is limited by your local agency's guidelines. Be sure to talk to your agency representative about this. You should not have weapons with your little. The use of alcohol, tobacco products, and illicit and legal drugs or substances are prohibited while matches are together. Volunteers are prohibited from being under the influence of any substance that could potentially affect judgment, driving, reaction time, or otherwise jeopardize a child's safety and well-being while their little is in their company. Legal or non-legal, there shouldn't be any reason you're doing non-legal things anyway if you're in our program, but legal substances, you should not be under the influence of them whatsoever while you are with your little. Contact with the assigned match support specialist is mandatory to remain matched in a Big Brothers Big Sisters program. The program type a volunteer selects will determine the frequency. In all programs, volunteers are expected to return your match support specialist calls and emails promptly and be open and honest in communication. This is essential for the success of your match support or match relationship. Like I said earlier, it's not just essential for the success of your match relationship, it is required for you to have your match relationship. So again, if you do not do those monthly phone calls with your match support specialist, we will close your match. And trust me, we do not want to do that. We really, really do not want to do that. But for the safety of the child, if you're not contacting us, then it's a red flag. So all right, that completes relationships. So if you can go to the email and you will have another link for the quiz. That quiz has to be completed in order for me to count your this training complete.